Hello and welcome back to the Guns and Outdoors channel. I hope you're doing great today and that everyone in your household is well amongst the madness, craziness, upheaval, and social decay that's going on around us in the world today. Some of the irrational stuff on TV just blows the mind. Really does. So you've noticed that there seems to be a shortage on firearms and ammunition and you're wondering why. Well, that's an interesting topic for sure. I decided to do some research and dive into the what, how, why, where, when in an effort to demystify the situation. Some of it you guys already know and you could probably guess. Some of it you may not. Thus the topic of today's video, yes, why the shortage on firearms and ammunition? That is the million, or in this case, billion-dollar question that we're all asking. We're going to have a comprehensive look at and a deep dive into the ammunition shortages. Let's kick back, postulate as to what has transpired that has gotten us into this state in the first place. I know you've all seen the headlines. I'll quote Fox Business and stay away from the Communist News Network, CNN. First one, skyrocketing gun sales trigger U.S. ammo shortage. Another, wholesale and distributor inventories are the leanest we've ever seen. All-time high in gun sales and NICS firearms checks. We've been seeing some online price gouging by retailers, for example, cheaper than dirt. They're up to their old tricks again. Nothing new there. Then there's the gun shortage, the ammo shortage, and we are asking ourselves, why is the price of ammunition going up across the board at most calibers? When will I be able to buy that whiz-bang new model of pistol or rifle that I've always wanted? Perhaps it's, when can I buy that gadget that will make me shoot better? When will I be able to find enough ammo so I can continue my training? How about, should I start shooting more .22 long rifle instead of 9mm, 223, 5.56, or 45 ACP? Then again, we used to pick on the old .380 caliber pistols. If I own one right about now and I had the ammo for it, I can tell you, bud, I wouldn't be laughing at the anemic stopping power of it. I know you wouldn't either. Suddenly, all rounds, even the old .40 Smith & Wesson, sound good again. You know, I was joking with my local buddies at the gun store, and I like to say that the shelves are all but empty. Anything that isn't nailed down is gone. And they all nod their heads in violent agreement with me when I say that and kind of smile, because it's true. You know, for me, guys, I love to train a couple times a week. You know, what about yours, mine, everybody's training plans? What does this do to my budget, your budget? Do I have to come to grips with the fact that I can't train as much as I used to? Well, that really sucks. How might I dial back on my hobby and sport in order to keep doing what I love and not break the bank? We're going to continue to now unpack this conversation, so make sure that you continue to hang on and enjoy the ride as we review my top 10 list of issues that we as shooters and marksmen are contending with in this cacophony of guns and ammo mayhem. First up in the top 10 list in no particular order is number 1, gun sales. Gun sales are at an all-time high. More and more Americans are buying firearms for the first time. This, coupled with current gun owners wanting more as well, drives the compounding effect. Our new gun owners have bought their first firearms and they want to shoot it, but they can't find ammo due to its short supply.
.380. Both of these two shells were 9mm, and if you'll pan over here for me, so again, a recap. This used to be .380. These two shelves used to be 9mm. Bottom shelf used to be all 40. This used to be 45. But good news, if you got a shotgun, I'm your guy. I got you covered.
Plenty of shotgun rounds.
I'm your guy. If you got a 10mm or a shotgun, we're good. I've been out of .380 for over 6 weeks.
Crazy.
6 weeks out of .380.
Number 2, material shortages. History lesson. This surprised me. Here goes. The United States has no more lead smelting plants. Say what, Justin? Well, I'm glad you asked. It turns out that our biggest plant was in Missouri, you see. As you guys know, they get the lead from ore. However, the lead is a toxic heavy metal material found in mineral deposits in the Earth's crust. It's soft, malleable, and corrosion-resistant material. Unfortunately, we're in a double-edged sword scenario. Lead is in our environment as much as it comes from human activities, including burning fossil fuels, range use, mines, and manufacturers. Lots of America's smelting plants were shut down back in 2014 during the last administration due to increasing strict pollution requirements from the legislature and the Evil Protection Agency, EPA. This strict regulations and requirements cost too much to implement, so the plants literally closed their doors and just shut down. There is talk that we do recycle lead from secondary sources, things like batteries here in the U.S., but the prevailing wisdom is that we now mostly import it from overseas countries. Yep, lots of our U.S. ammo companies import lead for bullets from outside of the country. Now, there is a caveat. Do remember that we also import ammunition. So, a lot of it. So, we're seeing that coming from Korea, Italy, Serbia, Russia, and others. So, this explains why we're getting and seeing some brands and calibers of ammos and not others. Speaking of ammo, number 3, ammunition. Ammo sales are skyrocketing to unprecedented levels, reflecting a degree of panic buying almost never experienced before. One well-known ammo site, ammo.com, reports that sales are up 792% across 9mm, 223, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45 ACP. Handgun sales account for the most sales, followed by rifle and then shotgun. At this point, we know that everything is selling out like hotcakes. So if you have something that you want and you find it in stock, guys, don't wait. Jump on it. As we talked about before on the channel, do not have buyer's remorse. Go for it. Stuff is being bought up as soon as it hits the store shelves. This is what reminds me of back in 2012 when we had guns, ammos, and 30-round magazine shortages. You guys remember that, right? But I'm afraid it actually seems worse now due to this superstorm of events, these multiple causes and affecting factors. When it comes to ammo supply, let's not forget the additional and old school order of things as well. The feds get their stuff afield first, as in first pick, then the states, then the local law enforcement agencies, followed by the retailers, distributors, and the public. You, me, we're at that bottom of that pecking order. Oh well, let's keep going. Number 4, primers and lead. They're currently in a shortage too, no surprise. People are buying it up, whether they really need the components or not. I'd add that there are 15 major countries that are exporting the lead. Get this, according to one source, China is now the leading producer, having mined and melted 2 million metric tons last year, which is 40% of the world supply. China also produces a large share of primers used in ammo production. Lots of primers, and these days even shotguns, are manufactured in both Italy and now China. Remember, they were shut down due to the CV-19 situation, which adds to the effect of lack of supply. And then we have number 5, pandemic. You're waiting on me to mention it, guys, so here it comes. The nasty CV-19. We saw China shut down because of it, then Italy, then Spain, UK, EU, followed by the US, the rest of the world. Then we all received confusing messaging by all sides, shut down, no shut, partial shut, lockdown, the effects on our daily and personal and work lives, our livelihoods. What a terrible situation. What a mess. No wonder. My heart goes out to everyone, all of us that have been affected by it. And guess what? No wonder we saw the retail prices start to go up earlier this year in 2020. Number 6, panic buying or bulk buying. How about this? Let's call it for what it is, hoarding. When people are scared, they panic buy, whether they need it or not. We saw it when people were home more. The average person isn't even up to the FEMA recommended 3 to 7 days of supplies for emergencies. Some of us are caught in a just-in-time, on-demand culture. They got caught without food and supplies. So therefore, we saw a run on things like medical supplies, food, non-perishables, canned food, bottled water, rice, pasta, remember, over-the-counter medicines, battery. Where does toilet paper fit into all that? You got me on that one. All right, TP aside, let's look at the why. From a psychological perspective, it makes sense. As humans feel threatened, anxious, or scared, our first instinct is to gain some sort of control over the situation. People have loved ones that they care for and are responsible for. So people resort to the only action they feel like they can, which is stockpiling. And this is a good segue that leads back into firearms sales. We just discussed people stockpiling items like medical, masks, cleaning supplies, and food that are in line with the CV-19 situation. Let's now discuss items that would now protect us from the bad people situation, from bad people wishing to do us harm. This is where we see a rise in the purchase of security cameras, firearms, knives, and other self-defense items. Number 7, the new gun owners. Fact, there have been more than 20 million background checks for gun purchases so far in 2020. To put that into perspective, that's up 35% for the same period last year. As I was researching, I found out that so far this year, we've seen more checks for firearms purchases than any other single year in history. As of July 2020, 22,819,271 checks have been done, with 5 more months still to go. Last year, the entire total was 28 million. My personal estimate at the Guns and Outdoors channel, based upon looking at the FBI.gov website, is that we'll see 38 million checks and sales this year in the FBI NICS tracker. To keep that in perspective, that's 39 million versus 28 million last year. Quick stat and 2 quick stories. Quick stat number 1, 4 in 10 households report to having guns in the home. And we know that's actually more than that. I think that's a beautiful thing. The Second Amendment is important, and we need to keep it that way. Quick story here that's a true story, number 1. My 6th great-grandfather, William Stevens, participated in the Boston Tea Party. He was born in England. He immigrated to the United States for a new life, and he fought against his homeland, the British, during the Revolutionary War. Every one of us is an immigrant. Don't ever forget that. Okay, unless you're a Native American. At the age of 25, interested in artillery and heavy ordnance, he served in the Massachusetts militia, later as a lieutenant, then a captain in the Continental Army. He wrote the only textbook on the artillery of the Revolution. Serving under General Henry Knox and in General Washington's army, he did his part in bombing the shit out of General Lord Cornwallis at Yorktown. Cornwallis later surrendered his 8,000 men and signed the Articles of Capitulation. Whew. Quick story on that one. I don't know how I got on that. Back on topic. Quick story number 2, local gun range. Droves of people are coming in wanting to learn how to shoot a gun. We're seeing every concealed carry class on the calendar sold out. Absolutely packed to the T. 20, 30 people. Couples, individuals, boyfriends, girlfriends, all signing up. Classes are selling out left and right. We're seeing a surge in one-on-one sessions as well as private classes for groups at an all-time high. Business is great and it is good on that front. When the industry and qualified instructors are teaching first-time fundamentals of good and safe gun handling, we all win. This is a great thing for our industry. We should all be very glad to see the positive side effect here, and we must do our part to support the effort. Team, don't criticize. Don't be so dogmatic. Support your brothers. Help people. Be positive. We'll get through this. I promise you. Number 8, protests and riots. Demand spiked with the CV-19 hit and then spiked again when the riots hit. The American people want to protect their lives and their property. Look, police and everyone. Let's get the bad cops and the crooked cops out of the system. Let's stop working with and covering for them. It's long overdue, guys. We know that we have lots of good LEs and feds that joined up to fight crime for all the right reasons. The most common quote that we all hear is, I want to help people. Okay, do that. We have and hold you to a high standard. That's noble what you're doing. It's great. You can make a difference. You're making a difference every day. Keep doing that. Be safe and continue with your firearms training beyond what your agency teaches you so that you'll constantly get better. That's what we all strive for. We need you now out there more than ever. Public, everyone, us, me, you. Once you start damaging innocent people's property, you're not a protester, but you're a rioter and you're a common criminal. You must go to jail and you will go to jail. Karma is a mother. Mr. Bad Guy, trust me, one day you'll meet your match and it will be from a person that you least likely expect it to be from. That person's going to be somebody that's prepared. There is no politics here. It's crystal clear. A part of living in a modern society that operates within the rule of law. Number 9, political season. If you're too far to the right, I've got no use for you. If you're too far to the left, I've got no use for you. We have idiots on both sides, and you're dead to me. I do not agree with the madness and crazy ideas that are out there. Defund the police? Are you kidding me? Really? Who do they think is going to answer the call when you dial 911 and ask for help? Think about it this way, and let me ask you guys a question. Would you want a doctor that recently took a pay cut to operate on you or a loved one? Heck no, I didn't think so. Young people, please don't for 1 second believe the new radical Marxist socialist idealism will any way result in something positive for America. My military brothers here will agree with me. If you've ever been in a branch of service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, you'll know that we don't see black, white, tan, and yellow. We see green, camo, or blue. We work together and operate 24/7 in some of the most austere environments possible. Some of the best leaders and mentors in my career when I was in that I've known were people of different ethnic backgrounds. When you're in the middle of the Persian Gulf, the Indian Ocean, doing an underway replenishment, a con rep, a vert rep via Halo, or you have two ships side by side with hoses and lines used to transfer JP5, jet propulsion fuel, ammunition, and supplies, you'll come to appreciate and respect all people and your military brethren. Their efforts and things of that nature require coordination, trust, teamwork in order to achieve 100% critical success. I choose in my life to categorize situations, personal and in business, as shades of gray. I don't always default to black or white, not in terms of people or ethnicity, but in situations. I kind of take an honest look at things. I personally take a glass half full approach versus a glass half empty. Number 10, supply and demand. Can manufacturers overcome all of the above by making and shipping more? That's the question. I'm not sure if they can. There's only one way to find out. And guys, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. And there you have it. Those are our top 10 reasons on why we're seeing this ammunition, firearms, and shortage situation. We should probably expect to see this continue to happen until the threats are diminished. Maybe it's if Trump is reelected in November. If it's not, the alternative will 100% continue to be the effect on the supply chain for a very long time as the increasingly more radical left digs in and comes for our firearms. Make no mistake, they certainly will do that. With all of the above stated, let's expect to feel the crunch and see shortages through the end of the year into early 2021. In the meantime, what can you and I do? For ammo, I've been doing a lot of web pages where I leave up the major ammo websites. I check them early in the mornings, say Monday, Tuesday mornings between 8 and 9 a.m. When the ammo comes in, they are posting the availability, so be on the lookout. Now here's the deal. Be prepared to pay, but don't overpay. For example, on 9mm, I'll go up to 19 cents a round. I think that's decent. But I'm starting to see stuff like 40 cents a round. No way. My shooting buddies and I have about 5 or 6 places that we check on the regular, and when we find it, we jump on it. We've all heard the stories of it being in your shopping cart only to not be there by the time you enter your credit card and personal information. There's plenty of 7.62 by 39 AK ammo out there, as well as 22 in stores and online. So I think we're good to go. And by the way, even the 30-round mags are in stock these days. In terms of firearms, Glock 6, Springfield, they're getting hard to find. If you walk into a place and you have a G17 or a G19 on your list, be prepared. You're only going to see one in the shelf, and you need to jump right on it. And also, don't worry about the generation. We all want Gen 5. If there's a Gen 4 and you have a new shooter that you need, pick it up. Don't be picky. I'm finding that shops still do have the 1911s, some Canics. They still have the high-end Gucci guns. ARs leave fast and they stock fast and then they're gone. Shotguns come in, they trickle out. There's still a lot of decent deals on shotguns for home defense. It's a great option. You don't have to go high-end if you're just starting. And by the way, it shouldn't have to be said, but don't expect to find any 9mm in your local gun store. It is gone. All right, and if you do, it's 1 or 2 boxes max. All right, team, we've covered a lot. That's the top 10. We covered some stories, tips on how to source ammo, as well as some current pricing. All eyes are on this year, the election, 2021 and beyond. Guys, as we work to close out this video, I want to thank each of you for watching and ask that you drop kick the like button. If you would, be sure to also subscribe to the channel so you can see more content down the line. Good luck. Happy ammo and firearms hunting. Do your part and renew your NRA and GOA memberships. And we're out of here. See ya.